Well, we've seen it time and time again, a suspect cornered by cops who won't back down. However, instead of the situation ending with the suspect going to jail, that person goes to the morgue. It's a tragic scene that's oftentimes captured on video and goes viral. Now, some recent videos have sparked protests because of the actions of what demonstrators call an unjustifiable shooting. But what if the suspect manipulated the officer into pulling the trigger? It's an actual occurrence, and in tonight's special report, Suicide by Cop, you'll see why it happens and the impact it can have on the officer who fires the fatal shot. Thanks to dash cams, body cameras, and cell phones, officer-involved shootings
Show me your hands now! Stay in the car!
Are repeatedly heard and seen around the world. The constant replay fuels anger for some, while for the officer involved, it causes anguish. It happened to veteran Terre Haute police officer Kurt Brinegar following this fatal shooting on February 25th.
He's going through a lot of emotions right now. It's not normal to take someone's life. He's replaying that over and over in his mind.
The shooting led to the death of 31-year-old Alexander Long. After officers tried to serve him a warrant for rape and other crimes, Long led them on a chase, which ended here at 25th and Poplar Street. When Long made a threatening gesture towards an officer, Officer Brinegar fired his weapon, killing Long. 2 days later, Vigo County prosecutor Terry Modisette announced the shooting was justified and Officer Brinegar would not face criminal charges. Prosecutors also said Long's girlfriend told police Long had indicated he would have done whatever he had to do to get police to kill him. It was suicide by cop, a familiar term for Indiana State University criminology professor Dr. David Polizzi. He says what causes a person to commit suicide by cop can range from them not wanting to do the time for the crime they've committed to them simply wanting to end it.
It's a different kind of articulation of maybe rage and hopelessness that now seems to have become almost a spectator sport, sadly, where it's not simply a matter of me just going off someplace and deciding to end my life.
It's a situation Brenda Simmons never encountered during her 25 years as an Indiana State Police trooper. However, as a member of the Critical Incident Stress Management Team, she counseled officers who did.
They'll have sleep problems. Some of them turn to substances, whether it's alcohol, whatever. They have problems with their spouses because they don't want to burden their spouse with what they're going through.
Officers don't have a lot of time assessing a situation. In fact, it can take longer for them to unholster their weapon than determine if a person is a deadly threat.
Get your hands where I can see them.
And Simmons says a suspect not following orders
Get your hands where I can see them.
signals trouble. And when faced with trouble, Simmons says officers revert to their training, which is to neutralize the threat to themselves and anyone around. Despite being cleared of criminal charges, an officer can still face a criminal lawsuit by a victim's family. You see, in Indiana, claims must typically be filed no later than 2 years after the date of death. However, we've learned the emotional toll of suicide by cop lasts much longer because no current or retired officer who experienced it would talk with us.